Captain's Log Supplemental. Well, day 2 of the SFSEs have been going pretty well. That's the Starfleet's skills examinations. Every year we have to go through this. Every officer under the rank of commander has to sit down for a standardized test just to kind of get a feel for everyone's skill levels, everyone's general competencies, and how much they've been really helping out on Starfleet. It's not supposed to be competitive. It's supposed to be just a standardized evaluation of the force. However, it always turns into a competition, and since we're a new ship this year, this is our very first score, and I'm really hoping for high marks. And I'm going to be honest, I know you are not supposed to use it when you're considering promotional candidates, but we all can't help it. We all do it. I mean, it's in their files. I'm not gonna rank up a fuck up. Anyways, no ensign left behind.
Welcome back, everybody, to Star Trek. Fuck, god damn it.
No, Star Trek. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Oh, we gotta keep that in.
No, keep going, Rob or Chris. Keep going. You got it.
Dude, Star Trek.
Oh yeah, you just throw my name in there because I'm the one who usually does it. I see how it is.
We'll start over.
Yeah, you're going to start over. They're going to hear it, but yeah, you're going to start over.
All right. So, welcome back, everybody, to Captain's Log Supplemental. We are a Star Trek rewatch podcast. Which, I mean, honestly, if you're still listening to us at this point, I feel like you probably know, but I'll say it just to say it. Please review, rate, subscribe, email us, tell your friends, all that stuff that'll help the podcast spread. It would mean a lot to us. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, we're watching Star Trek.
Fuck off. I'm like, yep, my brain's like, that's what we're talking about tonight. Just say that word.
Yeah.
So this is my first official broadcast from Pennsylvania again.
Ooh.
Yay!
Wait, are you in Pennsylvania right now?
Dude,
you're in his house.
I'm actually sitting across from our producer right now. I feel like we're in an actual podcast for a change.
I go out there to get some water, and they're like, you should sit out here with us. And I'm like, oh shit, should I? And they're like, no, fuck you. Go back to the office.
Back to your
Meanwhile,
cave.
I'm silently crying in Missouri.
Oh. It's not that silent. We can hear it from here.
Oh man, when we have our family get together, we could actually record an episode live.
Yeah,
oh, man.
We could do it
fun.
if it's nice enough. We could do it under the fucking Milky Way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that needs some context. So I always wanted to see the Milky Way, but I've always lived in cities, so I've never really been able to. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this. So I looked up on this website, where's there some dark sky? And the closest place to get some dark sky, there's some here and there in the mountains of Pennsylvania and stuff, but it's not super easy for me to get to because I'm in a wheelchair. So, if shit's this is so goddamn rural that there's dark sky, it's usually, this is so rural that nothing's paved. You can't get out of the car. Fuck you. So I was looking on the other side of the state or on the other side of the country, and it turns out there's this lake in Iowa that's got pretty good dark skies and parking lots and shit. And I'm like, that'll work out. And it turns out it's only 3 hours from Chris. Hey. So we have scheduled for, I don't know how many people know this, but if you want to see the Milky Way, the moon's brightness matters. So I had to look up a lunar chart for this town in Iowa to see when they were getting a new moon next summer. So yes, we have a tentative plan to be in Iowa for a week. I guess June 2025.
Yeah, watch out, corn coming.
They got a lot of corn there.
So much
We do
corn.
have a lot of corn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to Star Trek. Because that's the thing we're talking about.
Yes, and this is a
Are you sure?
a remarkable occasion. And that occasion is that for the first time on this podcast, now recording for over a year, 2 of us have watched the episode at the same time.
Oh. Yeah, together in the
Yep.
same room.
In the same room. So we gently held hands
Yeah.
and watched it together.
Cuddled under a blanket, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So my notes are on paper today, so I'm going to be very lost.
Sweet. Well, with that, let's get into it. So this is episode 3 of season 3. Episode title is Extinction. And yeah, there was some things that happened. We open up with a cold open with some aliens running through the jungle being pursued by some other aliens in suits.
Yeah, we got some more extreme laser tag.
Well, I mean, if lasers are plasma in the same way that fire is, then yes. He eventually the one alien who's being pursued kind of trips and falls or whatever, and the suit guys catch up and light their lighters and invite him to the barbecue. With him being the barbecue.
I don't remember what their species was called, so I just called them cheek testicles in my notes.
What were they called? Hold on, I noted it very towards the end.
They've got like whenever they breathe,
low tech or something. Or are you talking about the guys who were doing the roasting, or the guys?
No, the thing that they turned into, like they're like when they breathe, those like golf balls on their cheeks swelled up. It was gross.
Yeah,
it was very gross. Yeah. So yeah, back on Enterprise, T'Pol is setting the mood, lighting some candles for her Vulcan acupressure thing or whatever it is that she's doing for Trip. Trip is apparently has missed a couple sessions, so she provides T'Pol with some peaches that he picked up while he was back on Earth.
Georgia peaches.
I mean, he must have been keeping them in some type of stasis, because I feel like it's been a while at this point since they've been on Earth.
He said that he kept them frozen or something. Like there was some mention of how he was keeping them preserved.
Yeah, he said Chef kept them in stasis.
No, there you go. Now I will say, like, this is kind of an awkward gift-giving moment because, so there's a lot of different gift-giving traditions around the world and, like, general mannerisms around gifts. Are you all, like, give a gift and then stand there expectantly waiting for them to open it, people?
I am not. I will give you a gift and I don't expect to see you open it. Like, in most instances.
Rob, I didn't hear what you said.
So, yeah, no, but the rest of my family is. And it's really awkward.
It's
and
awful.
I don't like it.
I fucking hate it. So, like, apparently in other countries, that's, like, crazy rude. Like, it's like you give a gift, it is expected that gift will not be opened until tomorrow. Like,
yeah, so first of all, like, weren't big on gifts in my family growing up. Like, we did like Christmas and birthdays and stuff.
Yeah, unlike Rob's family, which was big on gifts but not on love.
But like, I know like a lot of people, like Lauren's family, did gifts on like Valentine's Day and Easter and like generally, but like my family never did that. We did like maybe like candy baskets and things like that, but not like regular gifts. So we weren't very gift giving in general as a practice. So yeah.
Anyways, the camera lingers long enough on T'Pol to turn this peach eating into some sort of fetish video.
Yeah, it was, speaking of awkward, it was very awkward. Trip insists that she eats the peach, and then she takes a bite, and then says nothing about it all, and says this isn't a makeup for missing 2 sessions.
There are a number of times in this episode where the writers are clearly inserting their fetishes into the script.
I definitely have the word fetish written down at least 3 times.
Yeah. So anyway, Trip removes his shirt. While T'Pol mentions it's time to play with feet.
And okay, Trip is the recipient of whatever's happening tonight. Why does T'Pol have to be in the skimpy PJs the whole time?
Why does she have to dress the way she dresses in every episode? Because the writers are horny. T'Pol states, sorry, I lost my place. T'Pol mentions it's time to play with feet. He agrees reluctantly.
I thought we were going to get another fetish sequence right fucking here.
Right.
Because he's like, I'm ticklish. And it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. So T'Pol begins her little Vulcan massage, but they get interrupted. Archer calls T'Pol to the command center, which I don't understand the purpose of the command center. Like,
I actually do. So, it doesn't have one.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. That just
they put
just
all
like
the
I
fancy
thought.
they put all the fancy new computers there.
Like why? Why are we
I
doing
don't know.
that?
It's basically like the way they use it is it's like, well, it's Archer's office when they don't feel like using that room.
Right.
Because
They needed
it's
to
like-
switch up the scenery.
Yeah, it's used the same way in like narrative.
100%. Yeah.
It feels like a second ready room almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So anyway, archers, or they've discovered a second species or another species of Zindi now, the arboreal primate Zindi species. I guess that was who the one pirate ship they stole the data from had raided, and they found the data from them. And apparently they'd stopped on this planet before they got raided by that one ship. So Archer's like, we're going there.
Well, and there's a line here that Archer says, it's either here or like when he's talking through the intercom, because he's like, we figured out that it's one of the species of Zindi. It's an arboreal species. And T'Pol's like, we don't know that they were involved in the attack. And Archer, wanting to commit a war crime, goes, we don't know they weren't. Like,
man.
And then,
anyway.
T'Pol has too many unitards.
That's all she has. That is her entire wardrobe. That and skimpy PJs.
Now
the other option.
she is changing in and out of them every goddamn scene anymore.
Uh-huh.
Well, like the weird thing now too is she's no longer a part of the Vulcan High Command. Why wasn't she enlisted in the Starfleet?
A uniform.
Give her a uniform.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
and that, like,
I don't understand why they didn't have her sign up.
Because they think this looks sexy. Although, frankly, Hoshi looks better. Her uniform actually fits her. Like,
yeah, well,
give her a uniform.
Yeah. So anyway, they make their way to the planet and arrive there. They can't detect any humanoid life signs, but they do find a landing craft. So they dispatch a shuttle to investigate. On board are Hoshi, Malcolm, Reed, and Archer. Right here's where I had my note. They have T'Pol now in a different, cat suit. So just for the love of God, just give her a uniform.
This is the white one.
Yes. Yeah. Very. Why white? Like that seems like a bad choice for.
My assumption is that they use the white one in order to contrast her with all the green around her and the brown.
You think it's like a filmography type?
Yes.
Okay.
Like high contrast.
Yeah,
yes, that is my guess.
They're like, well, we can change her outfit, so we're going to do that, I guess.
Right, because everyone else is stuck with I just smeared all my notes. That is fine. I can read them.
So yeah, they do locate the landing craft eventually as Reed very tactically moves through the jungle.
Oh my fucking God. Rob and I burst out laughing out loud when Reed came around the foliage. It was like,
It was so
pointing
funny.
his phaser and everything.
Also, I was going to ask you guys, do you think this is the same set they used in Rogue Planet?
100%.
Almost definitely, yeah.
Like,
because
generic forest, yeah.
At the beginning of the episode, when they had those three guys chasing the one infected dude with the flamethrowers, I was looking at it, like at first I thought like, oh, it's the Hunter guys again, and it was not.
Nope.
But the scenery looked very similar.
So yeah, they reach the landing craft and they find some toasty corpses. They said they weren't Zindi. And Reed is very British about the heat. I'm not a fan of the tropics.
Would have been fine if it was raining.
It was nice to see that Hoshi got to actually do something. Like, we haven't seen her in a while.
That's true, yeah. She hasn't had a lot of screen time.
Actually, I'm wondering, like, was she, like, pregnant or something? Why was she gone for...
That is, especially in this era of filming, that was exactly often the reason.
What I said was that she... that, like, back then, like, when women were pregnant, they would just kind of gently write them off the show until they were, like, skinny again. Because
or the other option, if they couldn't do that,
make them pregnant on the show.
Well, make them pregnant on the show or chest up shots with very baggy clothing.
Yes,
the other way.
Oh, and very dark clothing because cameras weren't good enough to like really distinguish.
Mm-hmm.
No, her first son was born in 2018.
Well, there you go.
How old is she? Oh, she's 7
she's
years older than
show.
me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we then cut to T'Pol, and she's looking at her arm, and it's going all funky, and then she gets some ridges start to form on her face, but she seems generally okay after that.
Yeah, she just got some temple swag.
Yeah. She's like, oh, that was weird. I guess I'm fine, and moves on. We then see Reed, who is not doing as well. He changed very quickly.
My note here is, oh yes, the famous Star Trek Insta disease, because we only
go to like that internal shot of him, and like all the fucking bones are moving and shit. Yeah, like you would be dead if things in your body changed that fast. So dead.
And I'm really glad that so much of the senior staff of the ship is down on this one away mission, so that we can all get infected by this shit.
Right, they pan up to the ship, and frickin' Travis is in command at that
Travis,
point.
plus like the bridge like B-list staff.
Yeah. So yeah, Reed's changed to the alien. Archer soon after changes to the alien, and then gets all aggressive and attacks T'Pol, who immediately pew-pews him. But then Hoshi attacks from the back.
Mm-hmm.
T'Pol runs off, and then for some reason collapses. I don't know why she collapsed at that point, but she did.
You're not gonna point out the horniness of this fucking show where we get an instant shot on Reed, but when the girls fight, we gotta have like this extended cat fight.
I mean, I wasn't going to go into detail. I'm trying to...
T'Pol was straddling her, Chris. Straddling.
Yeah, dude, but it was hot. It's okay.
The only way it could have been a little more on-brand Enterprise is if they had accidentally rolled into a mud puddle while doing it.
Just a random pool of Jell-O on the planet.
It's an alien planet. They got pools of Jell-O everywhere.
Oh, shit. So yeah, like I said, T'Pol eventually collapses. We cut to then T'Pol being put in some type of litter being carried by the now alien Archer, Hoshi, and Reed. And the alien language they're using is immediately very annoying.
It is annoying. I have the note at the very end of the last act that like growling face makeup Bakula was the best acting we've seen out of him all season.
I had in my notes that I knew you were going to say this.
But then at the beginning of Act,
pretty good though.
It wasn't terrible. But then at the beginning of Act 2, I'm like, never mind. Shitty Bakula acting is back because they like start talking to each other, and I'm like, this is awful.
So yeah, alien Archer and Hoshi seem to disagree about what to do with T'Pol and their clicks and whistles and whatnot that they're making. And then we get a very gross, like, sniffing tongue thing that Archer does to T'Pol.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on, we don't have to do that. We don't. By the way, I also thought that their language sounded like Huttese.
Yeah, I said that, because they kept saying solo a bunch.
Like this whole scene was reminiscent of like when they strung up like the Luke, Leia,
and the Ewoks.
The Ewok village.
And I don't know if we've been clear, but like their faces are completely different. Like they got like alien race makeup on now.
Right.
And, like, they got air sacs in their cheeks.
The cheek sacs are kind of gross, but like otherwise I'm not liking the look. Like that. I mean, this is pretty cute. Like I
thought it was interesting.
I'd be all right with it.
So yeah, they're making weird sounds. T'Pol eventually requests Hoshi's translating device.
I wrote, well, at least they're no less competent because like they're just as shitty at their jobs as they are when they're not like transformed into primitive alien
I thought it
things.
was. I don't understand the point of this part of it, but I did think it was funny. She's like, all right, you have to talk. Just fucking talk. You were talking a bunch. Just fucking talk.
No, they needed more time for Archer to get way too close to her face.
Yeah. So back on Enterprise, they're trying to figure out where the humans went. Phlox is saying the alien biosigns may be the crew. Trip decides to go look, but this time in EV suits, which is probably what they should have done from the first time.
I'm like, yes, Trip, send the rest of the senior staff down to the planet. That's perfect, yeah.
Yep. Quickly, we cut back to the planet, where at least they're actually where you can understand them speaking now. And,
why do they sound stupid? It is a universal translator. They sound normal. All aliens should sound normal. They are speaking their own language.
But then they don't sound as alien.
this is a problem, Mariah. I don't know if you remember, but we read most of a CJ Cherry book with Dad during that like book club part of the pandemic.
Right.
And like there were parts where it would cut to these aliens that were like quote unquote primitives, and like their language to themselves was like in this weird broken English. And it's like, bitch,
Oh, right.
what the fuck are you doing? They would sound normal to each other, like it's their language.
I mean, they do this with a lot of other aliens, though, like the Pac-Leds. And
Fuck
like,
the Pac-Leds. The Pac-Leds are a toxic stereotype, and they need to go away. Oh god, the
like,
Pac-Leds bother me so much.
Even with like the Vulcans and the Klingons, though, you get parts of their speech pattern that, like, I don't know, like you're not going to get that via translation alone.
Right. It's a device to make them seem alien.
It's a device. It's a device to make them seem stupid, and that's not like. That's terrible. I don't care for it because like they were making things out of vines and stuff. They're already like quote unquote primitive. You don't have to make them sound intellectually incapable.
Which, by the
Like,
way, also
people-
to build on top of this, we get that scene later on where we like see like the city and like they were primitive then. Why are they acting all primitive now?
Dude,
Right.
They were engineering viruses to prevent their own extinction. Spoiler alert. But like, they're not stupid people.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care for it because I agree it's a shorthand. I don't care for the shorthand. I find it to be obnoxious.
I agree. Yeah. So anyway, Hoshi is distrustful of T'Pol. Archer is again creepy and gross. And they start talking about Urquhart, which is, I don't even think is identified as the city yet, but eventually we learn that it is, that they're trying to go to. We find that Reed has some good ups. Fucking launches himself into a tree and finds some num-nums. Archer immediately takes his shit, and they fight, and Reed loses. Once again, we're making him out to be primitive, because not only are they fighting over food, but they're also fighting over food that is like, I don't know, maggot soup?
Maggot fruit, yeah.
Yeah. Archer
offers to Paul the food, and there's this level of like, because she's like, no, thank you. And I'm like, please don't feed her. Because he looked like he was about to.
He was trying.
This episode obviously had some fetish like shots in it. It had way more like almost fetish shots. Which I guess it's edging. I guess the whole goddamn episode is trying to edge us.
Yep. So he eventually does share his num-nums with Reed. Which,
yeah. When Reed loses, I'm like, oh, even when transformed, Reed's a bottom. Like,
so anyway, we soon see the Enterprise crew land, and they brought some Marines this time.
Were they Marines or were they ship security?
They were Makos. You know they're Makos because they have the Mako guns.
They had the sweet guns, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so Alien Reed surprises one of the Marines, but then gets pew-pewed by Trip.
Yeah. Wait, is it Archer that hits Trip in the backpack? And it's like, ow, his backpack. Like,
Yes, he attacks him from behind, hits him in the backpack, but then does crack his helmet shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Smashes
Eventually,
his face in with a log.
Yeah. T'Pol manages to, I don't know, shoo him away from attacking Trip more.
She's just like, no, that's bad. Bad alien.
Bad Archer. And then I guess decides to go with them for some reason. And I said this to Rob too while we were sitting there. I'm like, did they not just like toss her a communicator or something? Like, right,
what the fuck?
What are we doing here?
Well, I think the reason why T'Pol wound up staying with them was, one, she had like established a rapport with them already, but also like they knew that they could at least track T'Pol's biosigns.
Sure. I don't think her staying with them was a bad idea, but I do think that like they could have provided her with any kind of support.
Right. She's like, anyway, bye. I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, you stay with them. We got to get Trip's broken helmet ass back to the ship. And Reed, I think they took Reed back with them.
Yes.
It's like, here, take this communicator and we will be in touch. Because they didn't, it's not like usually in these kinds of situations, there's like a storm or whatever blocking communications. But this time it's just that she just didn't have a communicator on her.
Right. Yeah. So, as you said, they take Reed back to the ship. On Enterprise, we find out from Phlox that it is a mutagenic virus that transformed the crew.
Mutagenic being a magic word that means it does whatever we need it to.
Exactly, yes. Much like, speaking of things we do exactly what they need to, much like Data was on Enterprise, it seems like T'Pol's Vulcan anatomy is the foil for every disease or effect or whatever it happens to be on Enterprise.
I was honestly surprised at the beginning of the episode when it started affecting her at all. I was like, oh man, it's finally something that the Vulcans aren't immune to.
Right, yeah. Apparently it's Vulcan K cells that are resistant, apparently, to this mutagenic
I like
virus.
them throwing in the K cells there. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So anyway, they need her back on the ship to synthesize an
no,
antidote.
they don't. No, they don't. They just need some of her blood.
That's what Phlox said, though.
It turns out they don't even need some of her blood. They just need some of her sweet, sexy lip spit.
Her saliva, yeah, man.
Yeah, but they don't need her to return to the ship. Just go down and get some blood from her. Like, she's right there.
Shut up. Anyway,
okay.
2 ships are now incoming. The aliens on these ships tell the Enterprise that they are under quarantine and be prepared to be boarded. They are going to eradicate the infected.
This ginormous man shows up on their screen, and I'm like, oh, it's Justiciar Swole. Like, he's a huge muscular dude.
I feel like this guy's done a lot of sci-fi too. Like in Star Trek, I feel like I remember him in Stargate too.
He looks a lot like Teal'c, like in his build.
I know it's not.
It's not him, no.
Yeah, but I've definitely seen him in things like this before.
But yeah,
I wonder if he played a Jaffa.
He's fucking enormous. No, well, I don't know. Well, maybe a Jaffa, yeah. He definitely didn't play one of the Goa'uld because they were all like twinks, and this guy is giganormous.
Yeah.
Twinks.
Describe the Goa'uld with one word in any other way.
Look, I'm not
either
saying
women
you're
or
wrong.
twinks.
I'm just saying it is a funny way to describe them. Trip says, we can come chat or we can fight either way. We cut back to the planet where Archer makes it to some underground civilization filled with CG people, but psych, it's a dream.
These, hold on, real quick. Back to Justiciar Swole. He said that they've been working on this shit for 60 years. I hate it when they say shit like that. Because it's like, we've been working on this shit for 60 years, and we know it's like, well, Enterprise is going to solve this shit today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60 minutes.
I mean,
which actually, and it was faster than even I expected. Because they solved that bitch in a minute or two.
I'm not saying it's good, but I will say that this solve at least made a little bit more sense than like the one where they like were playing eugenics with that one planet where Phlox is like, nah, I fixed it. And this one,
I got a big old note about that at the end of this.
At least this one was because, I mean, they had an individual who had, however dumb it is, had a built-in immunity to it. So at least like, it's like, okay, like, it's not just we're the best and we fixed your thing out of nowhere. It's at least there was a reason for them being able to solve it.
Yeah, but like, the reason was explicitly stated that it was because of her, like a type of cell that she has that no one else does.
As I said, it's
so they're
not
just,
good.
Are they just, is everyone now Vulcan like Vulcan fucking immune systems? Like, that doesn't work.
As I said, it's not good, but at least it wasn't just like Phlox magically solving the problem.
60 years of trying to lick this problem, and Phlox is like, I guess I got some time to squeeze it in this afternoon.
Listen, he's got like a dozen degrees, right? Like he's a real smart guy.
Their entire species has got more degrees than Phlox.
Shut up. So anyway, Archer wakes up and tells Hoshi about his dream. They're like, oh, that sounds great. Let's go there.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, there's like these CGI people in the dream that look fucking awful.
Yeah. Yep. Back on the ship, the alien commander guy, whose name is apparently Tret, which I don't ever remember being mentioned in the episode, but
no, his name is Justiciar Swole.
Yes, Justiciar.
Did you get that from like the credits or something?
Yeah. Tret Swole describes how the virus transformed 10 million of his species, and they had to be destroyed, all 10 million of them. The Lokek, that was the name of the alien species they were originating to. The Lokek could no longer reproduce, apparently, so they made this, retrovirus thing to mutagenic virus, whatever you want to fucking call it.
All right. I'm going to get a little scientific here. All right. I have a question.
I'd rather you didn't.
Oh, no. Here we go. So their plan, I guess it's not really scientific. I just need to walk through my understanding of their plan here. It's like, okay, so the species is becoming infertile. And I don't know, were we given a reason why? Or
Nope.
No? Okay.
Some event happened.
But basically, like, something happened and they lost like 90% of their species and the last 10% weren't fertile. Is like what I remember them saying, okay?
Something to that effect, yeah.
Okay, sure. So their plan, as I understand it, is to use their wildly near magic-like ability to genetically engineer a virus to turn other humanoid species into them.
Infertility, impossible to solve.
Okay.
Mutagenic virus that transforms you into another species, totally fine and easy.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same fucking page here. Because I want to be like, can you make a mutagenic virus that just turns you into a fertile version of yourself? Like, how fucking hard is this?
I have a bigger problem with what happened. The virus, right? The virus, viruses have to live inside of hosts.
No, it's an insta-virus. Shut up, Rob. Shut up. Like, it's Star Trek.
Seriously, where were the hosts? They just showed up and
it was in
this
the
virus
air.
is just hanging out in the air forever.
No, it was the maggot fruit. They off-gassed the mutagenic virus.
Oh my god.
I mean, I guess like if you're talking about a virus that's like bioengineered, because viruses can't hop species. That's based, COVID did that. So
sure, but then wouldn't you have like little squirrels turning into those guys?
Well, maybe it only affects their DNA because that's what the virus finds yummy.
Yeah, there's like you have to be so tall to ride the mutagenic virus ride.
No, Rob, it doesn't, because everyone except for them on their planet has K cells.
That's what it was. So anyway, Justiciar Tretzwell says his people will examine the infected on the surface. Examine, he says. He even, like, Slant says it. We'll examine them. Like, yeah, dude, we know what you're going to do. He said it all, like, foreboding.
Oh, man. So he got escorted back to the airlock by, like, a random, like, security dude. And I turned to Rob and I'm like, wait, that's not Chad. Where's Chad? And then I was like,
Chad? Oh,
no, Chad died last episode.
Crewman Chad died, yeah.
We had to pour one out for Crewman Chad.
Pour one out for the homie.
This guy's got some big shirts to fill.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, Flock says they need to make the thing in 2 hours, or the changes are permanent. Okay. Trip rushes to T'Pol's quarters to find some DNA from the peach she ate.
Yeah, Trip's like, hold on, she malfucked a peach earlier. I got this.
On the planet, they've come to the place in Archer's dream. There was a city here, but it's now destroyed. Archer and Hoshi are much disappointed. T'Pol tries to convince them to come back to Enterprise, and then Archer gets all murdery and blames T'Pol for killing their civilization. Just as he's choking her out.
Another fetish.
Yep,
that's right here. Some more fetish content as the alien chokes T'Pol. Yep.
Yeah. The suited up aliens come to do some burninating. So Archer, T'Pol, and Hoshi. The dialogue in this scene, by the way, it just seems so stilted and like weird. Like even like T'Pol's like, "Come on, we must go this way to safety." It was weird.
Yeah. And I don't know what kind of physical like direction they were given, but every time these three went anywhere in this last like 3 scenes, they maneuvered in a way I can only describe as skedaddling.
Yeah. Well, and
and I understand that like Hoshi is Asian, but like Bakula and Jolene Blau, like they are white people, and white people are good at nothing else but skedaddling. But like,
so
there's some serious skedaddling.
Like Hoshi's just standing in the background of the scene, but she's also like standing all fucking weird too, just like sticking her ass out to the side and like hips jutting in the other direction. It was the fucking weirdest stance I've ever seen.
It looked like someone set a Barbie up weird because they had to balance. Like,
I just looked it up because I was curious. Guess who directed this week's episode?
Oh no, was it LeVar Burton again?
It was LeVar Burton.
God damn it, LeVar Burton. Well, you know what? I mean, if anyone's going to make some white people skedaddle, it's going to be LeVar Burton.
So yeah, they go run into farther into the city or whatever, into some tunnel thing.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I do apologize. LeVar Burton, not a great director.
I mean,
So I don't think that it's a lack of quality in the direction here. I really think it's just the script.
No,
Yeah.
no. The way Hoshi is standing, that is pure direction. 100%. That is entirely LeVar Burton's job.
No. They wrote in Hoshi stands really fucking weird in the background. Of the script.
And LeVar Burton just throws his hands up like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this shit.
Man. So yeah, in this tunnel area, Archer's sneak attacks one of the aliens. One of them tries to take T'Pol. T'Pol breaks free, and Archer's intent on murdering this guy. But T'Pol convinces him to spare the dude. However, the dude has a rip in his suit arm.
May I take a moment to tell everyone that punching someone in the helmet doesn't work?
No, it's a very bad idea. Watch any hockey fight.
Man, there are so many videos out there of like road rage incidents where like someone's pissed at a motorcycle and they come up and try to punch the dude's helmet and like break their hand, and the motorcycle dude's like, "The fuck did you expect?" Like,
yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, people are dumb. So yeah, Archer, I guess, incapacitates this guy. But then T'Pol and Archer and Hoshi wander off. I don't know where Hoshi. I don't remember seeing Hoshi in this.
She skedaddled the other direction.
She skedaddled too far. Yeah. So anyway, alien dude on the ground. His bros show up and invite him to the campfire.
Don't even say sorry.
I don't understand why they had to burn everybody. Can they just shoot them? Like, the whole planet is infectious. You're not containing anything by killing a guy on the planet.
Yeah, like you don't have to worry about a host for the virus, apparently. It just hangs out for decades.
Yeah, the host is the planet.
Fire.
Fire. Shut the fuck up.
Whoops. Oh, that's
What
going to
the
be fun to edit
fuck
out.
was that?
Loud.
I knocked over my water bottle. I may have peaked the recording. Sorry about that.
That's
Little
okay.
bit.
I peek every time I get excited. It's fine.
That'll be easy to find.
Yeah.
So Archer and Hoshi and T'Pol run away, and they immediately get surprised at the exit by a whole squad of dudes.
Yeah, hot Mako guy gets some action here.
Just then, Trip and random Mako guy transport.
I think that was Hayes.
Was it Hayes? I couldn't really see his face, so I don't know. And they just start blasting and take everybody out, which, I mean, makes sense. The other guys were armed with flamethrowers, apparently, which is not a good matchup for phase rifle
for lasers.
Yeah. So everything's great. Everybody ends up going back to Enterprise because they're the alien Archer and Hoshi are now totally cool with going with everybody. It was funny.
Okay.
I did note in my notes, the Enterprise immediately skedaddles as soon as the shuttle is aboard.
So,
even the spaceships are skedaddling.
Yeah.
Why do you think that the other spaceships didn't just like immediately open fire?
Because
fire
shut
on
up.
Enterprise?
That's why.
Because we needed an exciting warp chase, and Phlox needed 6 whole minutes to solve the case.
Like even the warp chase, like why do they even have it? Everyone is faster than Enterprise.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. That one dude wasn't in his shitty little shuttle that couldn't outrun that death storm.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, it turned out the Enterprise was also not fast enough to be useful, but it was
Sure.
faster than his shuttle.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Enterprise skedaddled and the aliens pursued. Just as Yar Tretzwell isn't hearing it from them when he radios them after he's kind of attacked them a couple times.
So like the shuttle pod is taken back into Enterprise. Enterprise engages skedaddle, and the other ships pursue, right? And we get this like the classic, as you've mentioned before, just like counting down numbers, because like we don't really see a lot of. There was like one shot of them actually firing lasers or whatever, but like mostly it's just like Travis going, they're this many kilometers.
The whole planing's down to 40%.
They're this many kilometers, yeah. So like, but we get all that like real time in this scene. Like there's no time jump here. We're getting this real time data, and then like, so the guy calls, they ignore him, they shoot at the Enterprise, then he calls again, and Trip's like, fine, what the fuck do you want? And the guy and Justiciar Swole is like we're gonna kill them, drop out of warp, etc. And then like Archer and Reed and Hoshi wander the fuck onto the bridge, mostly all the way healed, and they're like, we're fine now. It was like 7 minutes.
They have
tops.
the temple swag. They downgraded to T'Pol's temple swag.
It was so fast. It was like the fastest turnaround of any like bullshit Star Trek cure I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Angry Phlox is a very quick worker.
Man, I guess did he have a tea time he had to get to? Like he was on the fucking case.
Yeah. Well, all he needed was that peach, and that solved the mystery. So
yeah, that mouth fucked peach.
Yeah. So yep. Anyway, just this year, Tretzwell seems to believe them that they actually can cure the disease now, and everything's great.
In humans.
No, it's fine. Shut up. Anyway, in sickbay, Archer and Reed have a quick chat about nothing.
Yeah, they do. A real fast chat about nothing.
Yep, and then we have this. Oh God, fuck! Like this season, this show was bad throughout, but also they did the Enterprise classic of just ending it in the dumbest way. Phlox has this chat with Archer, and Phlox says, "I have the last mutagenic of the mutagenic virus." I'm like, "Last? How? What is this the last of?"
Well, that
planet was
like
infected.
The last of it that's not on that planet over there that's full of it. Yeah, like I don't know.
Like, what is the last? I don't understand.
That's fine. Let's, for the sake of argument, say that he's right. He has the last of the sample of the mutagenic virus. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. And so Archer's like, no, I can't be responsible for destroying another race. I'm like, they're already destroyed. The only thing you're leaving the possibility of is fucking up some other people's lives. Like, what are we doing here?
I also want to point out the obvious fucking 180 switcheroo this motherfucker's playing right now when he's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't want to be responsible for an entire civilization never existing again. When you're the asshole who agreed to hold back the vial of cure from the civilization that was dying.
Yeah, but he is. Oh no, you know what it was? He enjoyed the Republican. It's only moral when it's happened to me.
Oh, you know what? Shit, that's fair. I withdraw.
Listen, he just wanted to casually hold on to a weapon of mass destruction. That's all. And then, where did he secure it, Chris?
Fucking nowhere, as far as I know.
No, it was in a little tiny lunchbox
in a tiny aluminum case inside the med bay, like on the desk.
That's perfect. Shut up.
I thought he was going to be like, we could make a weapon out of this, and I'm going to be like, this motherfucking show. But somehow I got stupider because, like, what are you talking about? You've literally ended a civilization yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there we go. End of episode. They wrapped a dumb old bow on this dumb old episode. So we'll get to our ratings here. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 0 being threshold. Rob, go ahead and give me your rating first.
I gave it a 2. Like, I was gonna give it a really low 3, but it's just it was too much.
Okay, Stanford.
So oh man, here's the thing. All right, like I'm gonna be honest here. I wanted to like the episode. I did, but like it was just filler. And it didn't work. Like, nothing about it fell into place the right way. I think that they were trying to do good things, but they just didn't. Yeah. So, like, the road to hell is paved with the best intentions. I'm going to give this one a 2 as well. I almost wanted to give it a 1, but I didn't think it was quite as bad as some of the episodes I've given 1s to. So I will say a 2.
This is a stinking fat turd of an episode of this show. It is a 1. It was awful on all levels. None of it made sense. I hated it. It was awful. 1.
I use Marauders as like my prototypical example of a 1, and this wasn't quite that bad for me, but I could definitely respect you being like, fuck this shit.
it was Marauders level for me. It was dumb as hell.
The problem I had with this episode, I think, is season 3 got off to a pretty strong start, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I've really enjoyed what they've done so far. And like Stanford and I were talking before we watched today's episode, like I was honestly excited because for the first time, I feel like they have a purpose. Like they're working toward a goal and there's like a story. And then they drop this.
Yep. Yeah, it totally derailed the momentum of the beginning of this season. It's like, what are we fucking doing? What is this? Middle of season 1 quality? What are we doing?
Barely.
Barely. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, when we get back, we will be into our deep dive. Yeah, this episode pissed me off.
That's funny. Like, I know that there are episodes that piss me off, usually philosophically, but it's funny that you're like, I'm not even mad at this philosophically. This episode is just shit. It's just a trash episode.
100%, yes. Because I don't disagree with you. I think the idea was maybe interesting, but like, just none of it fucking made sense.
Yeah, they wanted to like make Star Trek Children of Men. That's the whole point of the episode.
See, and and that's exactly what I mean. Like, they could have. That's exactly what I mean when I say they were trying to do good things, but they didn't. Because, like, I don't know. It's like, you know what it felt like? And this is probably going to go into the final recording because this is good shit. But, like, it felt like all the good shit for this episode was, like, right off screen.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing we're seeing shit that's not important next to the important shit that's happening. Because, like, the civilization that died off but created this virus to, like, kind of repopulate itself. That's genuinely interesting, like concepts.
Right.
But, like, we don't actually see that. We just see Archer and Reed bumble fucking around. Skedaddling. A lot of skedaddling.
Yeah. Fuck this fucking episode. God damn it. All right, welcome back. So, for our deep dive on this episode, obviously I hated this episode, but it did, when they were talking about the alien virus and everything, it made me think about COVID. It's not too far from our memory at this point. And I wanted to kind of take a look at how COVID directly impacted Star Trek and its filming.
Oh, something nice and light. Okay, cool.
It wasn't, honestly, as I was doing research on this, it wasn't too bad. So I kind of took a look at the different shows that were filming at the time and kind of how they were affected, and some were more than others. So Discovery seemed to be the most directly impacted, at least that I could find, content and research and kind of articles on. There was an article I was looking at that was saying that the Star Trek Discovery season 4, during filming, and actually kind of COVID apparently happened like right before they started writing season 4 of Discovery. And so they were saying that the writers are saying we were in lockdown as we went into writing this season. This is from the showrunner, Michelle Paradise, or Paradise, I don't know how to say her last name, told Decider, which is what this article was pulled from, during a recent press day. At the time, we were in lockdown when we started to shoot the season, but the pandemic, it was and is such a huge part of all of us as a global community. We couldn't help but explore some of the things in our storytelling for season 4.
Okay.
Much like with COVID, this unstoppable force seems to initially have no solutions. This is talking about the burn, right? And the shocked officers of the Federation aren't sure how to deal with the impending threat. But for those who might be hesitant about watching yet another pandemic-inspired season of television, they're saying it's not a one-to-one, but it is kind of because no one's getting sick or anything like that.
I guess I don't want to say like she's wrong because it's her inspiration. It's her talking about her inspiration. But I'm also like, I mean, you just described the Borg. Like, what?
Yep, I agree. I'm like, that's an interesting link. I don't know if you're just saying that to relate or
I mean,
what.
In a microcosm, you've described every episode of Star Trek where it's like, where at first we're not sure what to do. It seems like an escapable plot, and then we break through and come together. It's like, Star Trek. Yeah, like I gotcha. Like I understand. Yeah. We literally just had that episode. It was today.
Yeah. So that all said, this is still from that interview. That all said, there is one character who this theme plays out in with a big way, and that's the ship's doctor, Hugh Culber. Last season, while grappling with identity issues of his own, Culber also moved up to become the de facto ship's counselor. In a very real way, Culber will be dealing with the anxiety a threat like this can cause, not just for the members of the crew, but also for himself.
So that part, that I actually buy. And I think that, like, Mariah and I talked about it when we were watching season 4. Like, I liked the sequences with him, like doing counseling sessions with people. Like, that was actually very well done, because not only is it like, yeah, of course these motherfuckers are getting therapy, but it's also like, this is good character information that like you don't get to see all the time. So actually I like that part. I like that.
So
plus that doctor is hot as hell. Oh my God.
Speaking of which, Wilson Cruz was the actor for Hugh Culber. This was a quote from him. "For me, it was really a time to reflect on all of our social workers that have been dealing with the exact same issue in the past year, taking care of us, while taking care of their own families and their own anxiety about the unknown of this pandemic." Cruz noted. "So I really thought about them. I held them in my heart this entire season because they really informed me what this experience really is for Dr. Culber. This whole season is a pandemic." So.
Well, okay. Like, again, I like the therapy talk. I don't feel like because what they're saying is that I'm trying to remember, it was like the extra galactic entities were like fucking with the intergalactic stuff because they were mining some kind of substance or whatever.
Sure.
Like, it didn't, if they were honestly trying to make that an allegory for the pandemic, it did not work. And that comes from someone who's A, pretty good at picking up allegories, and B, was like in the population of people who was most directly affected by the pandemic. So like, that doesn't work. Like, it didn't work at all.
Yeah, I thought, honestly, reading this, I thought it was a bit of a stretch as well, and maybe them trying to kind of relate to something that everybody's going through more, but yeah, I mean, you can take inspiration from whatever you want.
And the other problem is that, like, the solution was trying to be like, Burnham is like, well, we have to negotiate with them so that we can get them to stop. And so in this allegory, Burnham is pro-COVID? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway, besides inspiration for the show, there was more obvious direct impacts. I found an article in IMDb that reported that at a certain point in the filming of Star Trek Discovery Season 4, they had paused production due to possible exposure to what they called a Zone A individual, which apparently is Zone A refers to key cast members and production crew in close contact to this infected individual.
Jesus, it sounds so, I don't know, eugenic. Like, when you say it like that.
Weird. I'm like, that's a weird terminology for that, but whatever.
Can you just say, like, a primary cast member was came down with a disease or whatever? Like, that's all you had to say.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be like this Class A citizen. Like,
yeah. So I guess they shut down production for a few days, but nobody ever got, I guess, sick from it, and that person who they came in contact with quarantined for a time and then was fine. I also did find an interview with Jonathan Frakes, who directed a number of episodes of Discovery. This was from a Gizmodo interview with him on season 4. And I'm just going to read some of the back and forth. Well, really just one of them. They talked a bunch about the episode itself, but I wasn't really looking for that. They asked him, what was it like for you to come back this season and film safely under very different circumstances with COVID protocols in place? Frakes said, "It takes the joy out of the work. To be perfectly frank, it's changed. But luckily, Paramount and the studios in Canada and the States are so strict with COVID protocol. We tested daily, masked up. At the beginning of the pandemic, we had to wear a mask and then a shield in addition to the mask when we went off the set to talk to the actors. It's stifling, it's frustrating, it's a constant reminder of the danger we're all in as we continue to do this, some would say frivolous act." Referring to filming a TV show. But people love to...
Oh, I thought he meant like the masking and shit. Yeah. I was like, do we not like Jonathan Frakes anymore? God damn it.
Yeah. But people love to have the entertainment. I'm looking forward to a time where we can work the way we normally did. Having said that, show business in general, I think, has been a great leader in how we function with these new restrictions. I once worked on an ABC show, and Disney has a very strict mandate for vaccination, which caused some people to leave the show. When I went to Discovery this season, I had to quarantine in a hotel room for 2 weeks. I was not allowed out of the room. You download an app where they check your location daily, and this was a little bit of a quote. It's got a little of that Cold War communist Russia vibe to it.
Oh. Okay. All right, Frank, stop talking.
Roll it back. So there's nothing fun about it. It's particularly daunting, and I've talked to a number of directors, Michael Pressman and Robert Duncan McNeil.
Hey, Robert Duncan McNeil.
Mm-hmm. Olatunde Asunsanmi. God help me on that pronunciation.
Is that
what's
Mabenga? Is that Mabenga? Who is that?
No. This is the director, I guess.
Oh, I don't know why. I thought you said actor, but yeah, director. Oh, wait, Mabenga wasn't in Discovery. He's in Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds, yeah. And we've all shared, we find with the mask, we over-verbalize now because we used to use so much of our face and bodies to express a note. Either a positive note, attaboy, or suggesting that we try something different. We can tell a lot of the story and the tone of what we're looking for with your facial expressions and movement. And because they're only seeing a sliver of your face, they can misinterpret your note, or you think they're misinterpreting, or they look at you with blank eyes. So a strange side effect of all of this has been over-verbalizing. Without the mask and the shield, communication would be quicker, cleaner, and more efficient, which I didn't really think about. I mean, I think that's an interesting kind of tidbit from this whole quote.
Fun fact, because I can't hear anything anymore, I kind of unconsciously rely on watching your mouth when you talk. And I did not really realize how much I was doing that until people started wearing masks.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, fuck, I can't hear anybody.
So yeah, that was all the info I found on Discovery. I did find an article on Picard from the Hollywood Reporter. Apparently on January of 22, more than 50 members of the large production tested positive for COVID, which was the first day of work after the Christmas break. The Patrick-led series, I'm just kind of reading the quote here, it apparently had one of the biggest crews in television, numbering more than 450 staffers.
Yeah, well, they needed like 34 staffers just to hold his old ass up.
Oh, that's so mean.
Man, he looks so frail in every scene. I'm like, can he just go be happy somewhere, man?
Yeah, so
he looks so tired.
What if this makes him happy?
Yeah, I guess. I don't need to see it.
The infections impacted multiple zones. This is, again, that zone talk, including cast in Zone A. So, yeah, it was a big deal. Production of the series was immediately shut down and remained dark for, I think, almost a week. I
imagine they had, there was, a crew member whose entire job was, if anyone looked like they were about to sneeze, is to, jump in front of Patrick Stewart. Because, the man's in his 80s. You can't have him getting COVID. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So this was apparently during the Omicron variant, if you remember that. But it was highly contagious.
Yeah, I think that's the one we ended up actually catching.
Yeah. So that's all I found on Picard. There was another very similar report on Strange New Worlds, where they mentioned, it was a Deadline report, where they were mentioning crew members were quarantining after a guest star tested positive for COVID-19.
Fucking guest stars.
Yeah. Apparently the incident didn't really affect the production schedule, as the actor who was coming from Vancouver was checked before arriving on set. So they didn't really come in contact with any of the Zone A people, just a handful of staff, just those useless peons, during a fitting ahead of the film. So no shutdown in production on that one, apparently. And then the last thing I found, which was interesting, wasn't really directly on the show itself, but apparently, this is from trekmovie.com, there was a vaccine campaign in 2021 that the family of the late Leonard Nimoy teamed up with Los Angeles-based LA Care for a Star Trek-themed Live Long and Prosper campaign to promote COVID-19 vaccinations. They also got LeVar Burton to join in one of the campaigns as well, promoting boosters. Just give you a little bit of info. LA Care, which is actually the largest public operated health plan in the country, was wanting to team up with Star Trek. It just seems like a weird mix to me, but hey, and I'll actually, I found some screenshots of the billboards associated with this, which I thought were interesting.
There were billboards?
There were billboards.
The idea of a Star Trek billboard is weird to me.
Yeah.
It is weird.
I mean, like, it's a good line, like "live long and prosper." Like it's a good tagline for vaccines, right?
All right, I sent you a link. But there's a couple screenshots of the billboards on there.
Who are these
yeah.
random people?
Wait, hold on. This wasn't even the one I looked at
Medical
initially.
workers, probably.
What would you say, Rob?
Medical workers, probably.
I thought they were going to get some like Star Trek people.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Just LeVar Burton, apparently. I got another link. That was apparently there was multiple articles from this fucking site on this. There's the other one.
Hey, it's trekmovie.com, man. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Be there for the next generation. All right. Right.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Be there for the next generation. Okay.
Yeah. So they launched this outdoor and social media campaign tied to Star Trek with the cooperation of Paramount. It featured LeVar Burton as Geordi from Star Trek: The Next Generation and Spock from the original series.
It featured them as it featured them as in it like took old pictures of them from set, like
100%. Yes,
like LeVar Burton is clearly in his 30s in this picture.
Yeah, on this billboard it was "Get vaxxed, get boosted, be there for the next generation," with flanked by pictures of old Nimoy and not old, but like old pictures of Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek and LeVar Burton.
Based on the uniform, we're on second gen uniforms for Geordi there, so like 88-ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So apparently LA Care said they sell the campaign as a perfect way to amplify the message in communities disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. I guess they focused a lot on lower income areas.
Black areas too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because black people, very reasonably so, distrust like medical institutions in this country because they've historically kind of fucked them out of a lot of shit.
Yep. They had a note that Leonard Nimoy was, of course, diagnosed with COPD in 2013 and dedicated the last 2 years of his life to raising awareness about the progressive lung disease. His family had noted that they saw the campaign as an extension of that effort. One of them saying, "I have no doubt that my father would have been an outspoken proponent of vaccinations during the COVID-19 crisis, which has seen so many suffer lung damage." Said Julie Nimoy, I guess his daughter, who runs the Nimoy Knight Foundation.
The Nimoy seem like they're good people.
Well, in my only exposure to their family outside of Leonard, I would agree. So definitely, as really, it affected everybody. It certainly did have its impact on the Star Trek universe, and it shows. When we come back, one of you will have some potpourri. I'm not sure which.
Is me.
Okay. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. For potpourri this week, we're going to be taking a online quiz. Because we've already done it once today, so I thought, why not do it twice today?
Whee!
This one also has 180 questions, Chris, so buckle up.
It does.
God damn it. I better not end up as Archer again.
No. You're not going to wind up as anybody.
Oh, okay, Chris. So you remember taking the personality quiz that I gave y'all in the first couple of episodes? Because Rob here's like, "Hey, I got an idea," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Let's do a personality quiz. Like, which captain are you?" I'm like, "Rob, what the fuck are you talking about, man?"
No.
I was scarred by getting Archer, so I'll remember that one.
Rob did too, I would think.
Yeah, I think I did.
You did, yeah.
Y'all blocked it out as a coping mechanism.
We did, absolutely. So, this one, Chris, I think you'll like. It's how you would die in the Star Trek universe.
Is immediately an option. I feel like I would die immediately.
Oh, man. Do you think transporter accidents on there? Because that's the one that's going to get me, I bet.
Oh, man. That would be really fun. It'd be great if that's the one that you get.
All right, let's do it.
I don't know what all the options are. All right. So the way this is going to work, I've got 2 copies of the same quiz pulled up. So I'm going to, we'll go Chris answers first and then Stanford. And I'll just punch them in for you and I'll read out your answers at the end, okay?
So hold on. Did you already do this too?
I already did it. I've got mine recorded.
Okay, all right.
So we'll go through. I'll give you each of. There's 10 questions. I'll give you each of the 10 along with the multiple choice selection. We'll get Chris's answer first, Stanford's answer second. That good?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. You just got off duty and you have reserved some holodeck time. What program do you choose?
Oh boy.
A. Invite your friend who has had a bad week to join you at the Ox and Lamb in the Fairhaven simulation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a perfect way to help a friend in need.
And get hit
B.
on by a handsome Irishman.
I already hate this quiz, by the way.
Oh, good. Well, because the holodeck?
Well, it's just the level of like, all right, okay, it's Star Trek. Okay, all right, lay it on. Like, it's very...
All right, B, do what you always do and grab your batleth and select the Makbara Klingon martial arts exercise program. C, replay the Cardassians' occupation of the Deep Space Nine simulation.
What the fuck?
Or D, relax on Ryza and hit the Dabo tables with some Ferengis friends.
So, to be honest, I hate all of these options. Relaxing on Ryza seems the most plausible, because the other ones sound terrible.
Okay, so you're going with relax on Ryza. Stanford?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Irish bar with the hot Irishman. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Can I just relax on Ryza and not go to the Dabo tables? I'm not much of a gambler.
No, it's too late. You're going to Dabo tables.
Fuck, all right.
All right, question 2. You were assigned to lead a small crew on away missions to search for dilithium. You encounter an unknown alien species who are holding unidentifiable devices, and the universal translator is womp womp offline. What is the first thing you do? A. Draw weapons. Shoot first and ask questions later.
Jesus Christ.
B. Approach the aliens and attempt to communicate. C. Always try to be diplomatic. Tell the crew to lower their phasers and attempt to communicate with the aliens. Or D. Contact the ship and request an immediate beam out.
Oof.
I was going to go with C, but then D caught my attention, so I'm going with D.
D, okay.
I'm going to go with B. B was just approach them and try to communicate, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go with B. Like, I don't want to lower our weapons because we got protocols here. We're going to keep everybody safe. But I think B will work.
Okay.
I feel like this is like a choose your own adventure. It's like if we pick the wrong answer
It
here, do the
definitely
aliens
feels like
kill
it.
us? Like,
Yeah. All right. Question 3. The ship you are on just went to red alert with reports of intruders on several decks. What do you do? A. Get to the medical bay and prepare for incoming casualties. B. Duck into the cargo bay and start drinking all the Romulan ale. C. Get to the weapons locker and set the plasma rifles to kill.
Jesus.
Or D. Report to the duty station on the bridge.
I don't know why C is so murdery. D.
what was A again?
Get to the medical bay and prepare for incoming casualties.
I think I would also do the duty station. Like, I got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep saying duty.
Yeah,
Duty.
I'm not going to fucking John McClane this shit.
Set the phasers to kill.
Did you die, Rob? What happened?
No, the webpage just crashed. So
Oh, good.
this is fun. Hang on one second. Apparently, this is too much for a little Chromebook to handle. All right. Report to your duty station. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, question 4. You just graduated from Starfleet Academy. What crew position are you assigned to? A. Command. B. Security. C. Science or engineering. Or D. Medical.
Command.
What? You're not doing engineering? That you said that was your favorite like a while ago.
I changed my mind.
Oh,
For the purposes of this quiz, I changed my mind.
damn.
Doesn't.
Yeah, I'm always command. I would make an excellent captain.
All right. Question 5. You are assigned to transport delegates from different homeworlds to a peace treaty summit on Andoria. Suddenly, a fight breaks out between the 2 delegates on the transport shuttle. What do you do?
Punch him in the face.
Wait. I think that might be an option. A. Wait until the fight is broken up and attend to any injuries. B. Get in the middle of the fight and break up. Insist to know what they are fighting about. C. You immediately erect a force field between the 2 delegates. No reason to get in the middle of it. Or D. Grab one of the delegates' weapons and shoot both of them with it. When the captain asks what happened, lie and tell them they did it to themselves.
Jesus
Why?
Christ.
What the fuck? What kind of fable, like, evil, good options are these? It's like, do you want to save the orphans or burn the orphanage to the ground?
Also, I feel like I feel like option C, the fucking force field one, is not plausible at all. If you're erecting a force field trying to break up people, I feel like you're just gonna cut somebody's arms off or something. With that being said, I guess B.
Get in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do A just to mix things up. Like let them figure their shit out. Maybe this is part of their like initial cultural exchanges here. They're gonna punch some understanding into each other.
Yeah.
Are they Klingons?
Yeah, apparently. Okay, question 6. The captain has asked you to go on a covert mission to a pre-warp civilization.
Oh,
Unfortunately, you are discovered at the worst possible moment.
Make out with a hot chick.
What do you do?
Shitting? Oh, I
I
mean,
make-
yes.
I make
making
out
out
with
with
a
a hot chick.
Yeah, that's the Starfleet way. I mean,
Unfortunately, that is not an option here.
Son of a
A.
bitch.
Deny their accusations and cause a distraction, then teleport back to the ship while they are looking in a different direction. B.
hey, look over
Convince B. Convince the accuser that they are misguided and continue with the mission. C. Modify your tricorder to emit a harmless pulse that erases the last few minutes of their memory.
That's not what the word harmless means.
there. Fucking MIB bullshit.
Or D. Kill the accuser. What's one dead body? They'll never tell your
Oh my
secret.
god. B, because that seems like the only plausible option.
Yeah, I'm gonna do A. I'm gonna like point and like, oh shit, it's Barbara Streisand, and then beam back up.
Look at that bird.
I like it. Right.
You have a flashy thing, me?
Did you ever flash your thing at her?
No, I ain't playing with you, Kay. No.
Oh, Men in Black. You and your commanding officer are stuck on the turbolift together. Things have been getting really intense between the two of you lately. What happens next?
Sex.
A.
Hold on. I need to know the nature of the intensity.
No. The answer is clearly sex.
It's just intense. That's all it says. A. Use your commanding officer's shoulders to get out of the turbolift and access the Jeffrey tubes. B.
Why?
A fight breaks out, and both officers leave the turbolift bloodied and bruised. C. Discuss why things are so tense between the two of you. By the time the power is restored to the lift, you both have come to a mutual understanding.
Puss
Or
out.
D.
That's what that one is.
Yeah, D. Take advantage of the alone time and seduce them. It was bound to happen.
D,
There you
clearly.
go, Chris.
That is the only option in this scenario.
I'm gonna go with B with the understanding that's the punch each other, right? Run, right?
Yeah, that's
with
the punching.
with the understanding that afterwards we're like best fucking friends.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty good
I like
friends after we bang.
Depends on how good it was.
Friends with benefits. All right, question 8. Your captain has assigned you to assist the Zerillians vessel with their antimatter injectors. What occurs during your away mission? A. While working on the repairs, you fall for one of the alien crew members. A romance ensues. B. While assisting them with repairs, you discover they were intentionally damaged. You assist the crew in finding the culprit and saving the day. C. Do the work while secretly stealing their cloaking technology. It'll make you a lot of money when you sell it. Or D.
Money.
Break stuff and get sent back. Stupid job. Didn't want to help those aliens anyways.
Money, a weaponized incompetence. So C is money in the moneyless environment, and D is weaponized incompetence.
So going off my last answer and the want to experience to go through the nipple trip experience, I'm going to go with option A.
I am
Oh,
also
God.
picking A, but I'd like it to be an orgy, please.
Oh God.
I like how you two are ordering like combos from McDonald's.
Yeah, is this
Your
not an a la carte quiz? I don't
request.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Plus
go off
mine
menu. I need the
without
secret
tomatoes,
menu. We need the
please.
secret
Yeah.
menu.
It's like, yeah. Well, I'll take A.
Secret menu.
I'm going to need an extra order of sexy alien.
I want you to take B and just stuff it right into A.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yeah. So I want the saboteur to be a sexy guy that I have to seduce.
I don't think this is going how you thought it would.
No, this is going exactly how I expected it to go. This is great. All right, question 9. Your ship is engaged in a battle with the Borg, and your captain has been assimilated. How
Chris
do you
is
handle
like,
the situation?
I'm a fuck the Borg.
It's far too pointy. Too much cutting and pointiness. No.
No, but they're probably
All right.
strong and
Oh my.
Strapping. A. Transport the captain to the brig. Maybe they can be saved or used to find out how to destroy the Borg. B. Alert the doctor. Maybe something can be done. C. Shoot the captain. You'd make a better one anyways.
Jesus Christ.
Or D. Get to the cargo bay and drink the Romulan ale. You'd rather be drunk when you get assimilated.
Gonna go with B.
wait.
That's the doctor. Like, put him in the medbay one, right?
the presence.
Yep.
The premise is that the captain has been assimilated.
Yep.
Shoot him. The Starfleet protocol. Shoot him.
Is it? I mean, because like on Next Generation, they fucking saved the captain.
They violated protocol by getting him.
Yeah,
First contact, he shot Ensign. What's his face? Not Ensign Lynch. That was a different guy.
Ensign Memento.
All
What?
right. Final question.
He was the actor.
He wasn't in. Was he in Memento? He wasn't the main guy in Memento. I know who you're talking about. It wasn't the guy. I know who you're talking about in Memento, and that is not him. This guy was in like Starship Troopers or no, he wasn't in Starship Troopers, but he was in like Earth Above and Beyond and shit. Captain America. Yep, he was in Captain America. But no, not that guy either.
Question 10. You have been granted shore leave on a beautiful alien planet. How do you spend your time? Unfortunately, rock climbing is not one of the options.
Damn it.
A.
Damn it.
Spend your time assisting the aliens with a geologic survey of their planet.
That
B.
sounds like rock climbing to me.
It's pretty close. B. This is no time for a vacation. You were hired by a Zindi to execute the local ambassador.
What?
C.
What the fuck?
Request additional time off. This planet is super fun. Or D. You have volunteered to give a tour of the ship and a reception for the planet's dignitaries.
Oh, fuck
Chris,
that. C.
Chris.
I need more time.
Chris, you're gonna get to fuck them dignitaries, I bet, on D.
Yeah. On D, you say?
Yeah, Chris. You take
On
D,
D.
you're gonna be given the D.
No. There's plenty of hot alien strange on the planet.
I'm gonna go with A, because I want to go rock climbing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna break my leg.
Geologic survey. Okay.
I feel like I'm going to get alien herpes and die.
Christopher, you die heroically, saving the entire crew from being destroyed by a spatial rift. After many attempts by your captain to prevent the ship's destruction, you board a shuttlecraft in order to launch a modified photon torpedo into the rift. Launching the torpedo damages your navigational array and your shuttle is destroyed. The mission report sent to Starfleet records you as being a hero who died to save the lives of the crew.
Chris,
Building at
heroic as
Starfleet
fuck.
headquarters was named after you and your noble actions.
Oh man, I'm the
Chris.
best.
Damn.
Chris, did you fuck that torpedo?
I had to one time before I died. Jeez.
I imagine Chris rode the torpedo into the rift.
Oh man, Stanford, you got the same one I did.
Aww.
You die from contracting the auroral plague while attempting to assist the crew in finding the cure. Even though you died tragically, the data you collected was essential to assist the doctors in finding the cure. Starfleet gives you commendations for being a selfless hero posthumously.
Damn it, I didn't kill enough people.
Yeah. You didn't fuck enough people either,
All right.
so.
That's the problem. I didn't fuck enough people.
God.
And yet somehow I contracted the disease.
If
This
there's
is
one thing
ridiculous.
Star Trek has taught us,
Yep.
is the more you bang, the higher your rank.
You're less likely to die. More likely to have awkward interactions with other species.
Is the auroral plague the one that is like incurable?
I don't remember.
How's that one spelled?
Auroral.
Sorry.
A rural.
Rural.
So I didn't know if it was like the one like
Aurora L.
right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Oh no, apparently this is from the animated series.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Oh,
Kirk
that's funny.
suffered
Yeah,
from it, so it can't be
Dramia
that
2.
bad.
Is
No,
that the space
clearly
herpes?
Can't have died.
The pigmentation train came in a distinct pattern, the victim first turning blue, then green, and finally red, the terminal stage, while victims were green.
Oh, like an Aurora.
I mean, sure.
Oh,
Certain
man.
species were known to have a natural immunity, notably Vulcan.
Of course. Of course, it's the Vulcans. The Vulcans and Data.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Either of you have anything before we wrap up for the week?
Nope, nothing here.
I gotta give Chris some fucking rags or something to clean up with.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us for another week of Captain's Log Supplemental. As Chris mentioned at the top of the podcast, if you like what you hear, please rate us, review us, subscribe, ingest us, however you opt to from your various podcast suppliers of choice. Yeah, have a good week, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.